Hello and welcome to this morning wrap from Sports Today to all our family members. And let us just begin with what happened in Ranchi yesterday. India lost by 21 runs to New Zealand in the first T20I in Ranchi. And it was a very bittersweet moment for a lot of fans because they had come here to see MS Dhoni. Yes, MS Dhoni was in the house in Ranchi and he was with Sakshi, his wife. And remember, Ranchi was put on the world map in cricket because of the exploits of MS Dhoni. When you are in Ranchi, you just could not escape the presence of MS Dhoni. He was there cheering India on. He was also interacting with the Indian cricket team players. And there is a pavilion named after him, the MS Dhoni Pavilion. That is one of the key factors in the JSCS stadium that people want to throng for. It is the MS Dhoni Pavilion in Ranchi. When he is there, all eyes are on him. We all thought that Ishan Kishan could do well in front of his home fans in his home ground. But unfortunately, he was undone by a superb delivery from Michael Bracewell. And that's why Ishan Kishan failed. The master looked on. The apprentice, unfortunately, could not get going. So MS Dhoni was omnipresent. That kind of softened the blow that the Indian cricket team fans felt. Because the 21-run loss once again means that they will have to play catch-up. And remember, even in the series against Sri Lanka, the series went to a decider. But India won that. One hopes that tomorrow when India play New Zealand in the second T20I, they level the series and ensure that the decider in Ahmedabad is won by India as well. It is on the basis of this very particular match that Hardik Pandya said that it was a one-man show. The way how he batted, the way how he bowled and the way how he fielded. It felt as if it was Washington versus New Zealand, not India versus New Zealand. This was the tribute that Hardik Pandya paid to Washington Sundar. Washington Sundar, remember, kept India in the hunt, but it was too little too late as he hit a brilliant 50 of 26 balls. His 2 wickets ensured that New Zealand would face an uphill task, and the catch that he took, it was simply stunning. So Sundar had a brilliant day in Ranchi, and that is why Hardik Pandya's comment, Washington versus New Zealand. Pandya was not worried. He said, yes, these kind of games can happen. They will bounce back. He's very confident about it. So Hardik Pandya's X factor is his confidence. So perhaps India will bounce back in the second T20I and then take it to the decider in Ahmedabad on February 1. But it is a question of Washington Sundar that we come to. And Sundar was hurt. Not because of the fact that he could not help India across the line. Yes, when 50 runs were needed of 12 balls, it already seemed to be an uphill task. Sundar kept the flame alive for 3 balls, hitting a 6 and 2 fours of Jacob Duffy. But it was too little too late. And Sundar, he hit 50 of 26 and he was there when the post-match press conference happened. Washington Sundar said that it takes a lot of practice to be a finisher, and I did bat up the order in the IPL as well. It was his experience in the IPL that prompted him to play such a knock. And remember, he said that this is only a one-off. For becoming the ultimate finisher, you need years and years of practice. Talking about finishing in MS Dhoni's hometown of Ranchi, it is some divine providence indeed, because MS Dhoni was the ultimate ODI finisher. T20Is, you could argue it was 50-50. IPL, he was also one of the best finishers that we've had. So, finishing MS Dhoni, Washington Sundar, Ranchi, it is indeed a really divine providence, if we may say. But he was also hurt. Hurt by the fact that one question was posed about whether Umran Malik looked really off color. Because Umran Malik bowled only 1 over. And for that, Washington Sundar said, yes, it hurts when we hear these kind of questions because we are also players, we want to perform. Umran Malik is the X factor, just 1 over does not determine whether he is off color or he did not look good. So that is why he backed Umran Malik to the hilt, and Washington Sundar said that in the coming games he will do well. So that is how Washington Sundar summed up his hurt about the question that whether Umran Malik looked off color. Just 1 over. Remember, the spinners had an even bigger say in the Ranchi T20I than the pacers, New Zealand and India both. But towards the night, there was a big development when South Africa, despite all their problems after the T20 World Cup and also during the recent series when they were hammered by Australia, they put on a brilliant show against reigning white ball champions England. South Africa made 298, and it was thanks to Rassie van der Dussen's brilliant knock, 111, that got them to that score. And they lost by 27 runs thanks to Anrich Northier's 4-4-62. Pace, bounce, he really troubled the England players. And remember, Northier has been in prime form in this entire last couple of months. Against Australia, he was the best bowler. Even here in the series against England at the very beginning, he has started off very well. Remember, South Africa need to win all by a big margin, but that does not assure them direct qualification for the World Cup, because if they don't qualify by the May deadline, then they will have to play the qualifiers in Zimbabwe. West Indies seem to be in the same boat along with Sri Lanka and South Africa. So we may see some big teams play the ICC World Cup qualifier. So that is a major blow indeed. But from cricket, let us shift our attention to hockey, and the semi-finals put out an absolute classic between four of the best teams on the planet, three bona fide world beaters and one team that is staging a massive resurgence. Australia and Germany, that match was the first one, and we all thought that the Kookaburras would be odds-on favourites to win. 3-2 with just 1 minute to go. It seemed that Australia would have booked their place in the final, but Gonzalo Payat from Argentina to Germany, he scored 2 goals in the space of 1 minute. 2 penalty corners, and that is why Germany, in a big upset, defeated Australia 4-3. And remember, Australia have often struggled against Germany because of the technical way how they play. Perhaps the way how Germany plays, India needs to adapt that, because India have been woeful against the Kookaburras. So Germany have made it to the World Cup final, and who will join them? The Red Lions, Belgium. Once again, there was a classic played out between Netherlands and Belgium, two of the best teams in world hockey at this point in time. Belgium, it was 2-2 at regulation time, but then it went to penalties. However, unlike the pre-quarterfinals, it didn't go to sudden death. Belgium managed to win 3-2 against the Oranje, and that is why Netherlands' quest for another World Cup title will have to wait a couple of years now when they play in their own home turf in 2025. So, Belgium versus Germany will be the Hockey World Cup final. Netherlands versus Australia will be the third place playoff. And remember, it was Tom Boone, one of the best players in the world currently, who helped Belgium draw level, because Jip Janssen, Netherlands' ultimate penalty corner specialist, was in top form that day. And that is why Belgium are the deserved finalists. Germany have staged a big resurgence after their downfall in the Tokyo Olympics. So Germany versus Belgium in the Hockey World Cup final on Sunday. Netherlands versus Australia for the third place, and India will take on South Africa in the final for the 9th to 12th place classification. If India wins this, they can at least get 9th position in the Hockey World Cup and end their tournament on a high. But if you're an Arsenal supporter today, look away, because today Arsenal continued their woeful run against Manchester City in all tournaments held this season, and the FA Cup 4th round was the latest edition. Arsenal are out of the FA Cup after they suffered a 1-0 loss to Manchester City, and now their chances of a treble or a quadruple now really hang in the balance. They can at best hope for the Premier League title, that's about it. But for Manchester City, it continued their domination against Arsenal. Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola. Arteta often looked up to Guardiola as one of his mentors, and unfortunately, the master has gotten the better of the pupil on several occasions now. So, Arsenal are out of the FA Cup 4th round, and that is why now Manchester City are on top in this competition. So it's been an action-packed day when it comes to cricket. Today we will see Shefali Verma give a press conference in the evening ahead of the Under-19 World Cup Women's T20 final. India will take on England because remember, yesterday India put on a dominant show, but England crossed the line in dramatic style by beating Australia by 3 runs. They could not chase 100. 99 England were bowled out for 96 Australia. So it's a repeat of the men's Under-19 World Cup final that was held in the West Indies. India versus England. India won that for the 5th time. Can the women join the men in ensuring that they achieve Under-19 success? So that press conference is today. The Australian Open women's final is today. Aryna Sabalenka and Elena Rybakina. Who will win the Australian Open Women's Final? That remains to be seen. Tomorrow, Sunday, is an action-packed day. You have the Under-19 World Cup Final. You also have the second T20 in India and New Zealand. You have Novak Djokovic versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. Super Sunday indeed. And the Hockey World Cup Final between Belgium and Germany. Oof. Too much sports, but we at Sports Today will cover every single sport and give you all the latest update. Tap that bell icon so that you know when we go live. And we are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Press the like, comment and share button and don't forget to download the SportsTak mobile app because you want cricket action, you'll get all the highlights of the SA20, ILT20, BBL, CPL, you name it, they have it. And they also have highlights of the Australian Open and the Hockey World Cup as well. Thank you.